Which one would you pay attention to in a meeting?
Exactly. So let us show you how to get from this one to that one fast. Hi, we are Wendy and Olga, visual communicators on a mission to remove stress from design for busy professionals like you.
And if you've been stuck with slides that feel not so good, it's not your fault. No one teaches this stuff. But today we're going to show you how easy it is to transform your slide.
Okay, let's go directly to Canva. We'll take you behind the scenes. Okay, so we wanted to take something very simple and clear and straightforward to you. So we found this very bad slide on the internet. Maybe you've seen it before.
Very distracting and difficult to follow. It's difficult to get the idea that they were trying to convey.
Why? Because the background is very busy and the text itself is very busy and in one chunk. So, but don't worry, even if you're facing a slide like this, you can fix it. So we fixed it in this way, and we will show you how to do it in 3 steps.
Step 1, fix the background. That's very distracting, and so you want to have a background where your text can still be seen. So we found a nice technology image that you can go over to Elements and type in technology, and it gives you multiple options for the look you want. You're going to go to Photos, and you can see all depending on how it displays, and you can see that we have one here that very closely was not too far down the list, so it looked nice and futuristic and smart. So we stretched it to fit the background, but really it's too short. It's not tall enough. So you see this kind of weird line between them that doesn't look very polished and professional. So we're going to show you how you can quickly make that have a more professional look by going to Elements and typing in a gradient background. You can make it transparent or not. But you want to pull that in and get the gradient so that you can have that blur from the top into the image. And so you flip it so that the darkest part is at the top, and where it starts to fade out is across the image. And you can change the color. It doesn't have to match the exact background or not if you want to make it look a little bit more exciting. And then you can just stretch that across the whole side and play with the level of transparency or the color if you want it to be a little bit more pop. But you don't see where it ends in the image of the technology landscape at the bottom because it gradients out to nothing.
Exactly. So basically you create more sky for yourself. Do it if you need more sky. Our filter maybe was a bit more purplish here, so you can play according to your branding. But that's how you create more vertical space. Why? Because we need to put our text there. And that brings us to step 2, which is see first, second, and last. What does it mean? It means that we have to tell our people who are looking at our slides, what do they have to see first, what do they have to see second, and last. So in this...
And that's how you break out large boxes of text. So that paragraph had 2 relatively long sentences, but the 2 first key words were technology innovation.
I'm scrolling back. Sorry for those who have vertigo.
Me.
Wendy. So yeah, see, if you remember, it had just 1 chunk paragraph. So we took technology innovation, we blew it up, we made it much, much bigger. And
that's your first.
Mm-hmm.
Your second becomes the rest of the first sentence.
If I scroll back to our slide and we paste these 2. So this is your, so Canva has some nice tools which will allow us to draw on the slide. So this is your primary information, big, bold, whatever the eye will see first after the photo. First we see the photos, the images, and then we see the big text. This is your secondary because it's slightly smaller, it's less bold, it's not bold at all actually, and it's underneath. And this is your tertiary information. So we are very aware of the fact that not everyone will read this. So we need to make it, even smaller and lighter. For the skim readers, we'll definitely skip it, but those who are thorough will read it too. So we want to optimize it for them too. Is that it's exactly same text verbatim. We just changed the visual layout of it. So even with the boring text, ideally as visual communicators, we would also work on the messaging and improve that messaging. So after people see this big and chunky title, they would read this and they would be drawn to read even further. But in this case, we didn't want to make any changes to the text, just to show you the visual part of it.
And step 3, the final touch. You can see we highlighted the O's since there was a common letter between the first 2 words, and coordinated it with the color of the background effect at the bottom, the last text piece of information.
Exactly. Almost like 2 eyes that are kind of weird looking.
Glasses.
Glasses, yes.
Little round glasses.
Exactly. And we use the 2 blurry shapes that we use them as highlights. One is coming from the corner, which almost like creates that glow of something that is coming. You don't know what it is. And the second blurry shape is behind the tertiary text. Why? Because the background is already very, very busy, and we wanted to make it slightly more distant from the text. So it's almost like fog, like a fog. And how to find it? Very easy. You go to Elements and you type here blue, blurry shape. And we've used this one. See, it's called blurred gradient shape. So we used it and we put it at 49% transparency. That's how you build a visually appealing slide, even if you are dealing with extremely boring text.
See? Same info, totally different impact. You can see it's not about being a designer. It's about knowing a few smart moves that make your work stand out.
And honestly, it's absolutely not your fault if no one taught you this before. But today, you have the power to change that.
Imagine what else you could level up when you give yourself permission to learn a little, try a little, and have a little fun along the way.
If you would like more tips like this, subscribe to this YouTube channel.
And subscribe to receive our weekly Canva tips. Link below.
If this video was helpful to you, please give us a like, share something in the comments. We would greatly appreciate it. See you in the next one.
See you in the next one.